Good morning, students. This is K. Surya, Assistant Professor, Department of English, KCS Kasinadar College. Today, we are going to see the poem Digging, written by Seamus Heaney. Now, let's see the poem. Between my finger and my thumb, the squat pen rests, snug as a gun. Under my window, a clean rasping sound when the spade sinks into gravelly ground. My father digging. I look down till his straining rump among the flower bed bends low, comes up 20 years away, stooping in rhythm through potato drills. Where he was digging, the coarse boot nuzzle on the lug, the shaft against the inside knee was levered firmly. He rooted up tall tops, buried the bright edge deep, to scatter new potatoes that we pick, loving their cool hardness in our hands. By God, the old man could handle a spade, just like his old man. My grandfather cut more turf in a day than any other on Chona Bog. Once I carried him milk in a bottle, corked sloppily with paper. He straightened up to drink it, then fell to right away, nickling and slicing neatly, heaving salt over his shoulder, going down and down for the good tough digging. The cold smell of potato mold, the clinch and slap of soggy pet, the curt cuts of an edge. Through living roots awaken in my head, but I have no spade to follow men like them, but my fingers and my thumb, the squat pen rest, I'll dig with it. We'll move on to the summary now. His booted leg is placed steadily and comfortably on the shovel, the shaft of which is secured against the inside of his knee. He pulls potatoes up from the ground and then digs deeply into the ground again. This time he is replanting all the potatoes that we would help him pick. We loved feeling how hard and cool they felt in our hands. My God, my old man was incredible with a shovel. So was his father. No one could beat my grandfather when it came to cutting tough on the swampy land that he worked. I remember once bringing him milk in a bottle which I would seal messily by using some crumpled up paper as a cork. He stood up straight and drank it all and then got back to his work right away. He cut neat slices in the trough, throwing the heavy surplus earth over his shoulder, digging deeper and deeper to get to the best stuff. I remember the chilly smell of the potato mold and the squishing sound of the wet earth. Those memories are still alive in my mind. Unlike my father and grandfather, through my labor doesn't involve a shovel. I hold a short pen between my fingers. It's my tool. This is what I will dig with. I hold a short pen between my fingers where it fits tightly like a gun. Outside my window, I hear the clear sound of a shovel working the pebbly earth. It's my father out there, digging. Looking down, I see my father straining as he bends low to tend to the lower beds. When he comes back up, I think of him 20 years in the past, bending down in a steady rhythm to dig in the neat rows of potatoes. Though to some people, digging might seem like a pretty dull and repetitive task, the speaker presents it as a kind of artistry. He focuses admiringly in minute details on his father's technique, while also acknowledging the physical difficulty of the work. Digging is presented as a complex and technical process, one involving neat potato drills, the strength to send a shovel deep into the earth again and again, and the knowledge of how and when to scatter crops. By God, the old man could handle a spade, the speaker says, emphasizing the expertise required of his father's labor. Thinking about all this prompts the speaker to reflect on his grandfather too. Like speaker's father, the older man provides an example of how best to approach work through determination and skill. The speaker recounts how he once took some milk to his grandfather while he was digging. The grandfather drank the milk and got straight back to work, demonstrating his total commitment to the job at hand. Through the memory of these two men, then, the poem shows appreciation for dedication and effort. Seeing the physical act of digging as an inspiration for writing the poetry, that's why the first and the last stanzas are very different, even though they are almost same on first look. Both focuses on the same image. The speaker holds a pen on page, but it's in the final stanza when he resolves to actually write. Except he do say right, he says dig. His father and grandfather provides a model for a way for the speaker to approach his work. And though the two types of work, manual and imaginative, are very different, writing is presented as its own kind of labor, one of that though it may not require blood, sweat and tears, certainly requires commitment and effort. It begins with the speaker hovering over a blank page with a pen preparing to write. The speaker then reflects on the work ethic and skill of his father and grandfather, both of whom worked the land as farmers. Though the speaker is breaking with that specific familiar tradition, the speaker presents writing as its own kind of labor, with speaker owing to dig with pen. Thank you.